Hi everyone, welcome to the Ravit Show. We are here at Big Data London and look who I have with me, Clarence from Zoho. Clarence, welcome to the Ravit Show. Long due. I know we've been, talking a lot around data analytics, the great things Zoho is doing in this space. But before we get into all of those things, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about what you do at Zoho and how's Big Data London going.
Thank you, Ravit sir. Thank you for inviting me for this one. It's been
For
long
sure.
due, as you said, right?
For sure.
So it's been a great show. Okay. By the way, let me introduce myself before
For
I get
sure.
involved. So I've been with Zoho for more than 25 years.
Wow.
I'm the head of the business intelligence product suite. So I've been all in data, BI, and analytics for the last 15 to 20 years. So that's what I do.
You've seen, looks like you've seen everything what has evolved in the data and AI space.
Right.
25 years is long, so that's fantastic. Let's talk about Big Data London. And I know I've been seeing the Zoho booth filled up with people taking demos and all of those things. But what are you hearing from enterprise leaders, from the community? What are they most interested in when it comes to data and analytics? Just want to learn a little bit about that.
So we have been participating in the show for the last couple of years,
Okay.
and it's growing year by year. So the interest levels are also growing. There are a couple of things that I've been hearing in the last 1 day or 1.5 days of the show, right? Quite a lot of conversation, deeper conversations too, right?
Yep.
So I would like to highlight a couple of things, right? So one is basically people are talking about the ever-increasing data velocity, right? And the variety of data that you're trying to bring in, right? So bring in data from a variety of sources, it's growing rapidly, what do I do? So that's
True.
one, right? The second thing is the rapid evolution of technology, AI, right? So typically AI, right? So people want to know, how do I adopt AI? Where can I adopt it? How costly is it going to be, right? So that's another thing that is always in the conversation, especially generative AI as well as agentic AI, right?
Right.
The third is basically the complexity of their analytics needs are also increasing. Not only looking at the historical data, they also want to look at predictive, diagnostic,
So true.
prescriptive.
So
The variety of analytics that they want to bring in. And the last is empowering everyone inside the organizations to be AI and insights enabled, right?
Yep.
Because it's not going to be just only the executives who want to look at insights, right? They want everyone inside the organization to be enabled with insights. So what should I do, right? So these are some of the common things that keeps coming in different tones and different models, right?
I think the amount of data and the vast data that we've been kind of seeing is obviously the talk of the town. Every enterprise leaders want to understand how are we going to fix that. So I'm kind of curious to learn from you how analytics is addressing that and how are you all gearing up to help those enterprise leaders?
Yeah. So actually, we have been investing on this platform for the last 15 years. So we, in fact, came up with the first version in 2009, right?
Yep.
It's a long journey, right? And the product has also been evolving with the changing trends, right? So there are a couple of things that we have been fundamentally doing in this platform, right? The first is basically build a very high-quality data management block, because in anything that you build, right? Anything that you build, if you don't have a very strong data foundation, whatever you build over there, it's not going to be good, right?
So
it's going to be
true.
on a weak platform, right? So we have built a very strong data management foundation as the first pillar of our BA product, right? Where you can bring in data, cleanse it, transform it, enrich it, and have it cataloged so that you have high quality data that you can take it up for analysis, right?
Yep.
So that's the first pillar that you have built. The second pillar is basically the deep analytics capability that we have brought in, where people can analyze data in an easy way, not only just use the visual interface, but also bring in AI smartly into that particular thing.
Very important.
AI, ML, and the latest generative AI and agentic AI component capabilities. The whole idea here is not to just bog down the users with the complexity of AI, but make it more practical. More embedded, more contextual. That's the way we are looking at that particular.
Yep.
And then the third part is basically in terms of trying to bring in extensibility to the platform. So it is one thing that we give you pre-builds or pre-packaged things, but people want to also bring in their own capabilities inside the platform. So how can I make it extensible, right? So that's another way by which we are trying to help a different set of audience being enabled with the insights from our platform. So these are things that we are building, and these are the core pillars that we have as part of the platform that we offer.
I love it, and looks like obviously the one of the most important thing is obviously the practical use cases,
Right.
and the enterprise leaders are always excited about when they can see the real use cases from different industries too.
Right.
And I know Zoho kind of obviously caters to a lot of different industries, most of the industries. Zoho is not a new name to the community. I'm kind of also wanting to learn what are you doing on the AI side. when it comes and when we think about BI,
Right.
right?
Right.
Everything that was BI earlier is still BI, but there's more to
More
it,
to it,
which
yeah.
is AI.
Right. Right.
Can you share a little bit about
Yeah.
that, and then we can get into a few use cases if you don't
Sure,
mind.
sure. Actually, if you look at BI as such as a product, right? So it's a kind of a nice slot where you enable organization to bring in all the data that they are collecting into the platform, right?
Right.
So when there is data, there is always complication, but that's where AI can thrive, right? Without data, AI cannot thrive. So it naturally becomes a great fit to be there inside a BI platform, right? So
Exactly.
that's the first dimension that you have to think of.
Mhm.
But how do we look at AI bringing inside the BI platform, right? So there are a couple of things that we try to do. One is what we call as a contextual AI, right? What it really means is we are not trying to go and complicate the users in terms of I'm bringing AI for the sake of AI. No, we will make it very contextual so that the platform is empowered by the capability or
Very
power
important.
of AI, right?
Yep.
So, for example, capabilities like predictive AI, where you can do forecasting, right, trend analysis, clustering, or even anomaly detection. These are contextual AI capability that we blend inside the platform right there. That's one thing, right?
Mhm.
The second thing is basically in terms of automated insights, where if you're looking at a report, you want to know what are the top insights that the report is trying to convey to you,
100%.
right? Or you want to know why something is happening, what they call as diagnostic or root cause analysis. And you also want to know what type of recommendation that it can make for you to really take up actions, right? So this is another way of trying to use AI, or generative AI at the back end, to generate insights automatically, not only talk about what has happened, but also talk about why something is happening and what should you do in the future to really address the problem. That's
Yep.
the second dimension. The third dimension is basically enabling users to have a very natural conversational interaction with the data, right? That's what
Exactly.
you see in ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a conversational interface, but generating quite a lot of insight, right? So we are trying to bring in generative AI capability where people can have conversations to get insights rather than looking at a dashboard or a report, but it can be a natural conversation that. And the last dimension is basically the agentic AI, which is the most hard thing now, right?
Yeah.
So how can I automate AI workflows, right?
Yeah.
Right from data to insights and action. Can I automate the entire workflows easily?
Mhm.
That's the other dimension that we are trying to bring into the platform. So that
I
is
love it. I love it. And to be honest, this is like the first time I talk to a lot of enterprise leaders. I talk to a lot of solution providers as well. But this is like the first time I'm kind of hearing someone, getting into the depth of different capabilities that they're kind of bringing to BI, because that's like one of the most important
Exactly.
things right now for all the enterprise leaders as well. Because what happens is they kind of don't have to go to different tools to make
Right.
sure that they're getting those insights. But if there's one place where they can have different capabilities
Yeah.
embedded into it, it's a game changer. So that's very helpful. Talking about BI with AI,
Right.
uh, I'm curious to know if you can share also any use cases that you have in mind. I don't want you to name customers, but if you're okay, please do.
Actually, so interestingly, before I came to this event, right, I was talking to a big client in India, right?
Okay.
So it's basically a kind of a food delivery firm. It's one
Okay.
of the well-known brands in India.
Got
I
it.
cannot name them, right?
Got it. Yep.
So they have been with Zoho for quite some time, right? And they are very deep into Zoho Analytics, right? So they analyze quite a lot of data, especially on the inventory, food tracking, managing their delivery partners, all insights delivered through mobile, everything, right? So they had an interesting use case where they say, I want to adopt GenAI, but the way we want to do it is basically I want to use the Zoho Analytics backend, right? But I want to give them agents, right? An interaction agent where each of the delivery partner would be in a position to interact with data in their context with their own permissions and get insights dynamically, right?
Okay.
So they want to build custom agents for different delivery partners and give them enabled in their mobile.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
so that's something that was an interesting use case that we have been working on
I
in the
love
last
it.
few months.
Yeah.
And it's going to be almost like by this next quarter we are going to roll it out. Right?
Oh,
It's all built up based on the data that is there inside Zoho Analytics with the agentic AI capability that we already have and a solution built custom for the particular partner.
This
right?
is game changer
Yeah.
sure, because what they're trying to do is have individual agents for individual delivery partners, but at the same time giving them insights
Exactly.
about, and maybe even recommendations, right?
Exactly. So whatever that we give it as part of the platform, delivered contextually as part of the agent that they are building for the particular
Love it.
partner.
This is great.
Yeah.
Great use case. Thanks for sharing that. Kind of also curious to learn from you, because you meet a lot of the people like head of data, VPs of data, CDOs. Um, do you have any advice for them when they are kind of thinking about AI, BI? Otherwise as well, to have agentic solutions into their workflow.
Right.
Any advice that you would have for them, Clarence?
Okay. See, one is like it is always it is always easy to get carried away with the with the, what do I say,
Shiny objects,
shiny
I
objects,
guess.
right?
Yeah.
So you have to be practical. That's what I'd say. So,
So true.
everything cannot be fit with one concept called agentic AI or generative AI, right? So you have to choose the right tools for the right thing. So that is something that you always have to be grounded with, right?
So true.
So given that you're a decision maker, you have to really put your thoughts on that, right?
Exactly.
And the second point is basically BA, as I told you, is a natural place where AI is going to play a game, right? So, but you have to look at what type of AI capability that you want to bring in. Do you want to have a contextual AI capability like a forecasting, which is something that is going to be sufficient for you, or you want something more deeper in terms of agentic where it can automate your workflows deeper, right? So you have to evaluate the use case. That's the second thing. The third thing is look at what is the right technology which will enable you to solve the problem for you specifically, right? So that is the other thing that you have to look at.
Yep.
The last factor is basically the value for the money that you're investing, right? So start with a small proof of concept. Try out whether whatever tools or vendors that are going to really help you to solve that. Look at a small POC, see whether it can be solving your needs. If it looks good, then go into a production mode. And the bottom line is, whatever that you try to adopt, right? At the end of it, your users, your businesses should be really empowered or should see the bottom line being improved because of adoption of the technology, right?
So true.
So that is very important. So you always evaluate based on the outcomes that you want to see. So go from the back, right? So that's it.
I love it. I love what you said about it's, first of all, don't run towards the shiny objects. Understand what is the need, what your business definitely needs.
Right.
Go for that. Not everything needs agents or agentic AI solutions, right?
Exactly.
Think about it, but do the reverse engineering, see that, and then work towards it. That's fantastic. Now, next thing I wanted to quickly discuss was around the short-term roadmap or the plan. How do you see the space moving, not only just for Zoho, but in general as well, in the next maybe 6 to 8 months, not even more than that?
See, one thing I clearly see is basically the convergence of data and AI platforms, right?
Yep.
So I see increasingly the AI platforms, either the AI platforms consuming the data platform model or the data platform vendors themselves offering AI capabilities together, along with analytics into a single box, right? So because that's a natural convergence. So that is going to be something that you can look forward in the next 6 to 12 months, point number
Okay.
one. Second thing is basically the agentic thing, right? The agentic things trying to automate the entire gamut of what you try to do inside the analytic journey, right? That's going to happen. That's going to happen more and more. And it's not going to be just the off-the-shelf solution, but also more customizable, like the way that I talked about, where a vendor is trying to talk about building agents specifically for their partners, right?
Exactly.
So that is a thing that is going to come. And the last is basically because of adopting AI, right? So you are going to further up the adoption of insights by everyone inside the business. What they call as data democratization, right? That's going to be powered up because of the adoption of new technologies like AI, right?
Yeah.
Until now, only 20% of the users inside an organization are insights enabled. So that is going to move up because of adopting this latest technology. So these are things that definitely I see happening in maybe next year.
I love it. I love those insights. Can't wait to see how the future kind of folds. But one last question for you is, if folks want to learn more about what Zoho is doing, I know there are so many freebies, so many ways that people can actually try the product through. What's the best place to do that?
So you can go to our website, zoho.com.
Okay.
Zoho.com has more than 55 applications. And
Nice.
BI is one of the primary applications that we offer. It's called Zoho Analytics. Go to zoho.com/analytics. You can sign up directly in our website and create an account. We have a free trial that is also available, and there is also an always free plan. You can always use without paying us at all. So try out the product. You will like it because it's a self-service BA platform, no complications. Anyone can try it. Anyone can analyze data and get insights, right? And with that, you can get started in terms of an analytics journey over Zoho. Yeah?
We love it, and we've all seen the growth that Zoho has over the years, and how you all have innovated is A+. So can't wait to see that. But I promise one more last question, and that is about if folks want to reach out to you, which is the best place to connect with you? LinkedIn, X?
LinkedIn. You can reach me at Clarence Rosario. It's a single word.
Okay.
Clarence Rosario.
Yeah,
So
I'll make sure to tag you so they can connect with you on LinkedIn. But such a pleasure chatting with you, Clarence. Got some great insights around BI. Got about great insights about obviously AI, how agentic solutions. You shared some amazing advice for the leaders out there, but also what you're hearing from industry leaders. It was great to hear and great to understand the theme.
Thank you so much, Ravi. It's a pleasure talking to you. So
Yeah.
looking forward to more discussions. Yeah.
Can't wait.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you
a
very
good-
much, Clarence.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us.